If you believe like I do that soccer cards could be a huge growth area for the sports card hobby, then this video is for you. Because today we're giving you everything you need to know about investing in soccer cards. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome back to Sports Card University. Today, Soccer Card Investing 101. We're giving you everything you need to know to get you ready to invest in soccer cards. If you're excited about the content today, please hit that subscribe button because we bring you new videos like this all the time, and give this video a like. We appreciate that. And follow along with today's episode by downloading the free Sports Card Investor app in the App Store on your phone right now. We have added thousands of soccer cards to the Sports Card Investor app so you can see what cards are trending. You can also see the recent sales price and go shopping for thousands of soccer cards. It's all free. It's the Sports Card Investor app in the App Store on your phone. Go download it now. Okay, I'm excited for today's episode because I have been very bullish on soccer cards for the last few years. I have felt that soccer has been a bit of a sleeping giant in the sports card hobby. And in 2020, the sports card hobby began to wake up. They began to see the potential of soccer cards. In fact, according to eBay, soccer cards saw the most growth of any sports card category in 2020. They grew almost 1,600%. Yes, 1,600% compared to 2019. Now, of course, part of the reason for this was back in 2019 and previous, there weren't that many sales of soccer cards. So it wasn't that hard for soccer cards to start to gain popularity and to see this absolutely incredible rise. And in fact, there weren't many soccer cards produced in general prior to 2019. The print runs of those products were very, very low. This is part of the reason why I continue to be optimistic about the future value of soccer cards. Because if you buy soccer cards, especially in 2019 or prior, you're buying cards that are generally very low population compared to their counterparts in other sports. For example, Zion Williamson's 2019 Prism Base rookie card in PSA 10 condition, there are more than 20,000 of that card on the population report. Whereas Erling Haaland's 2019 Topps Chrome Champions League base card in PSA 10 condition, as of the filming of this video, has a total population of less than 700. Less than 700 of Erling Haaland's 2019 versus more than 20,000 of Zion Williamson's 2019 key cards in PSA 10 condition. So it's that low supply, particularly 2019 and previously, that can cause prices to potentially escalate quickly if demand continues to grow. And of course, another reason for my optimism around soccer cards is that soccer is simply the most popular sport in the world. And that international popularity, that has been a major driver in this surge of sports cards recently. In fact, part of the reason why we have seen basketball card prices escalate the way they have in the last few years is because some of the international influence, collectors in other parts of the world. So it stands to reason that if more of the world outside of America continues to get into sports cards, that soccer card prices could be a major, major beneficiary of that international participation in the sports card hobby. Although soccer cards have really surged in popularity in the last few years, there is actually a long history of soccer collectible products being made, going all the way back to some of the hobby's earliest tobacco cards, which were actually soccer cards. But a lot of soccer collecting history is oriented around stickers. Yes, stickers, the types of things that you would peel off and put into an album. Stickers of soccer players, soccer stickers, have been very, very popular internationally, going back to the 1960s when Panini started to create soccer stickers and sticker albums. And then for the 1970 World Cup, Panini created its first World Cup sticker series. And in fact, they have been creating those World Cup stickers and albums for every year that the World Cup took place since 1970. These have all been quite popular internationally, but they really never caught on very much in the US. And over the years, there have also been some series of soccer cards made. In fact, Panini has made their Mega Cracks cards for many years. These feature rookie cards. If you go back to 2002, you can find Cristiano Ronaldo's rookie card in Panini Mega Cracks. And in 2004, Lionel Messi's rookie card was in Panini Mega Cracks. But it wasn't until 2014 when Panini created its first World Cup Prism soccer card set using its popular Prism brand that soccer cards got the interest of many US collectors. And even then, Prism soccer cards weren't very popular at first. In 2019, you could have still bought a hobby box of 2014 Prism World Cup for less than $200. Today, a hobby box of 2014 Prism World Cup will set you back more than $5,000. And it wasn't until 2017 that Topps created its first Topps Chrome set of soccer cards. Topps had been creating soccer card sets periodically for years before that, but the introduction of Topps Chrome soccer cards in 2017 really put Topps back on the map with US soccer card collectors. Because of the recent boom in popularity of soccer cards, now Panini and Topps both create many sets of soccer cards each year for many of the top international leagues, as well as for MLS here in the US, and women's soccer cards as well. Now, specifically, Topps produces cards for Champions League, Bundesliga, and the MLS, while Panini has the rights to produce cards for the Euro Cup and for the World Cup, as well as the Premier League, just to name a few. There's also a company called Futera, which has made soccer card sets over the years, and today they make club cards for teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, and Manchester City. Other companies like Upper Deck and even Wizards of the Coast have also made soccer cards at different points over the years. Looking forward, many investors, including me, believe that soccer's growth in North America and its extreme popularity internationally, combined with a very special upcoming moment in the hobby, the 2022 World Cup, is going to cause soccer card values to rise. Personally, I think the 2022 World Cup and also the 2026 World Cup, which will take place here in America, could really help boom the soccer card market, which is one reason why I continue to invest in soccer cards. One aspect that is unique to soccer cards is that you can collect players based on their club team cards or their national team cards. It's also worth mentioning that while Topps' acquisition by Fanatics will completely reshape the markets for baseball, football, and basketball, we don't quite know what's going to happen in the future of soccer yet. Panini still has soccer licenses, so it's possible that we will see Panini as well as Topps continue to create soccer cards long into the future. Now, one quirk about soccer cards is that prior to the last couple of years, the rookie card symbol was not used very often on different soccer card sets. We've become so accustomed to looking for that rookie card symbol in basketball cards or baseball cards or football cards, but until recently, that symbol wasn't used with soccer cards. So it's not always easy to know if you're looking at a player's true rookie card or not. Of course, you can always Google the player's name and look for their cards, or look in the Sports Card Investor app, where we try to build as complete of a catalog of possible of all of the key players, and you can go back and see what their very first cards were. Now that you know a bit about soccer cards, let's talk about some of the key sets that you might want to invest in. The first key soccer card set we're going to touch on is Topps Chrome. Now, I mentioned earlier that the first Topps Chrome soccer card set was 2017, and that was the Champions League set. This 2017 Topps Chrome Champions League set is an iconic set when it comes to soccer cards, because not only was it Topps Chrome's first set, but it also featured Kylian Mbappe's rookie cards. He, of course, is one of the major players that many collectors are going after. So for his rookies to be in the first set of Topps Chrome has made that 2017 Topps Chrome Champions League set a really big deal. And also, it's worth mentioning that Topps Chrome Bundesliga has players like Erling Haaland. So that's also a very popular set that people go after. Topps Chrome in general has had a relatively low print run, especially from some of those early sets, so they tend to be pretty popular cards from an investing standpoint. Now there is also Topps Sapphire. You may know that Topps Sapphire is a higher end release of Topps cards. It also appears in baseball and now in F1. 2019 was the debut of Topps Sapphire Soccer with a Topps Sapphire Champions League set. It was also the first time that Topps used rookie card logos on soccer cards. And that 2019 Sapphire set was a small checklist and had a very low print run, making it desirable to investors. In 2020, Topps also expanded Sapphire to Bundesliga, and in 2021, Topps expanded Sapphire with a Topps Sapphire MLS release. This was the first year also that MLS was moved to Chrome from previously it had just been a Topps paper product. Now it's not just Topps making iconic soccer cards, it is also Panini, and of course I already mentioned Prism, the iconic Panini brand. Prism first arrived into soccer cards back in 2014. Now the World Cup license for soccer cards is controlled by Panini, which of course is very, very important. Not only did they create that 2014 Prism World Cup set, but they also created a 2018 Prism World Cup set as well. And that set featured Kylian Mbappe as one of the chase cards from that set. So that is the Mbappe card that many collectors and investors tend to go after. People, of course, knew Mbappe, they knew World Cup, and they knew the Prism brand. So that combination of things together made that a very desirable card and a very desirable set. That 2014 Prism World Cup set, since it was the first year of Prism, features Lionel Messi's first Prism card and Cristiano Ronaldo's first Prism card, which, as you know from other sports, can make those cards very popular with collectors and investors. Panini also makes Donruss, and as you know, Donruss is an iconic sports card brand, and it debuted in 2015 as a paper product, and then Donruss gained additional popularity in 2018 when they started adding rated rookies and optic inserts into the Donruss set as well. There is also Immaculate. Immaculate is well known to basketball card collectors and football card collectors for its high-end patches and autographs, and the same is true with soccer. And in fact, the RPAs, the rookie patch auto cards, they are especially rare in soccer card sets, and Immaculate is one of the few products that has them. Also, Eminence, another extremely high-end set by Panini, features some of those awesome patch cards and autograph cards as well. And if we go back in time into some of the key cards from previous years, I mentioned Panini Mega Cracks. That's a type of card that Panini has made internationally for some time now, continues to make internationally. But when you go back into the 2000s, you can find the rookie cards for Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo from those Panini Mega Cracks sets. They had pretty low print runs and also very low high-grade populations because they were very condition sensitive. So finding some of those Mega Cracks cards in high PSA grades, typically very, very difficult to find. So now that you know some about the key soccer sets, let's talk about some of the key inserts within those sets. And just like you find in basketball and football, you can find Kaboom in Panini's soccer sets. Kaboom is very popular amongst soccer card collectors. It has appeared in several Panini soccer card sets over the years, such as Select, Donruss, and Prism Premier League. And just like Kaboom, you can find the iconic Color Blast inserts in soccer sets as well. You can find a black version of the Color Blast insert in Obsidian and a white version of the Color Blast insert in Prism Premier League. There is also the National Landmarks insert. These appeared in 2018 Prism World Cup. These are similar to Downtown. You may recognize them, very similar in appearance to the popular Downtown inserts in football and basketball, but these were for the national soccer teams in 2018 Prism World Cup. And there's also the Matchups insert from 2014 Prism World Cup. This one is especially iconic because of the Messi-Ronaldo matchups card, very popular in a base card, but also extremely sought after in the parallels, the more rare versions of that particular card. So now that you know a little bit about the inserts, let's talk about some of the current players who you might want to consider for investing. You've heard me mention Lionel Messi a few times already, and for good reason. He is one of soccer's all-time greats. He's currently on PSG after a long career with Barcelona. His key rookie cards from Mega Cracks back in 2004 are extremely expensive and difficult to find in a high grade. Many soccer card investors like to start there with those cards to start their high-end soccer card investment collection. And of course, Cristiano Ronaldo is another one of soccer's all-time greats. He plays for Manchester United. His rookie cards from 2002 Mega Cracks, just like Messi's, are extremely expensive and difficult to find in high grades, but they are considered to be a cornerstone of a high-end soccer card investment collection. Kylian Mbappe is, of course, a more recent star. He's a forward for PSG and the French national team, and he has been a major reason why so many people are excited about soccer cards leading into the 2022 World Cup this year. It will be interesting to see what his cards can do as we head into this year's World Cup. Personally, I am a big investor in Mbappe's cards. Erling Haaland is another young rising star in soccer. He, of course, is in the Bundesliga. He's been one of the more popular soccer cards to chase in recent years, considered one of the world's best strikers. And one strategy that soccer card investors here in the US are taking is to invest in some of the US stars who will make their appearances for the US men's national team in that 2022 World Cup. You got to start with Christian Pulisic. He will be the captain for the US men's national team in the 2022 World Cup. He currently plays internationally for Chelsea, and he is one of the most popular modern players in the sports card hobby. There's also Gio Reyna, a key player for the US men's national team, starts for Dortmund. Weston McKennie will be a key player for the US men's national team this year, just like he currently is for Juventus. And Ricardo Pepi. He could be a star striker for the US men's national team. He just left the MLS to go to Bundesliga. Now, those are some modern cards that you might want to invest in, but don't sleep on vintage soccer cards either. If you're going to look at cards and stickers before 1980, you're going to find that most of those cards are extremely rare to find. Very low population, very difficult to find in a high grade, and that can make them very valuable and very investable for the long run. I think that the soccer vintage market is a market that is definitely worth paying attention to. And of course, a couple of key players there. Pele, everybody knows Pele. He is just an absolute get for any soccer card investor. And Diego Maradona, another all-time great star that you should consider adding to any soccer card investment collection. Now, whether you're shopping for vintage soccer cards or you're going for more current stuff, we always recommend investing in graded cards whenever possible. We favor graded cards because it is easier to understand the condition of what you are buying, and you can also look up the price history of those cards and see a more consistent trend line because you know the quality of the particular card you're buying. And of course, those cards are authenticated as well, so you know you're buying the real thing. This is particularly important if you're going to be trying to buy older soccer cards, such as vintage soccer cards. Now, the graded soccer card population still pales in comparison to the other major sports. Soccer was the 5th most graded category of cards at PSA in 2021. 3% of PSA's total graded cards in 2021 were soccer. It was far surpassed by basketball, baseball, Pokemon, and football in that order. But if you can get your hands on PSA graded soccer cards of those key stars, I personally think they're a pretty good investment for the long term. I always look at PSA when possible from an investment standpoint. BGS is also a popular option for thick cards such as patch cards. SGC is becoming a more and more popular option every day because of their lower grading prices and faster turnaround times, particularly for cards that were released in the last year or two. So they are worth a look as well. Although some people also have gone to SGC over the years for some of the older vintage soccer cards as well. By the way, if you're interested in learning more about grading, we have several great episodes about grading here on the Sports Card Investor channel. And we also have our own grading service. So if you want to get your cards graded, our service can help you do that. And you even get a discount by going through us. You can go to sportscardinvestor.com and click on grading in the main menu bar to find all about our card grading services. All right, guys, that was a lot about soccer cards. We hope we gave you a great overview and primer today. If you haven't already, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Please do so right now. And download that Sports Card Investor app, because every week we add more and more soccer cards into that Sports Card Investor app. It is the best way to see what soccer cards are trending and to see new cards and their price history and to go shopping for soccer cards whenever you want to add some to your collection. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you back in a couple of days with our next episode. Take care.